Hello people, it's Warrior Custom Figures, and today I have a new custom figure to show off, which is my modified version of the DC Multiverse figure of Harley Quinn from the Suicide Squad movie. Because while the Suicide Squad movie is still popular and it's still earning money at the box office, and two, we all know what's going to be the #1 costume for Halloween this year. But going back to the figure, I bought it because for the sole purpose of modifying it, because the actual figure itself, it's okay, the bottom half, but then, yeah, that face isn't really helping. Don't get me wrong, I just felt I needed a little bit more work to it. The first thing I did was modify the Daddy's Little Monster shirt. So I basically just took some dark wash and I added it into all the creases of the shirt to further bring out the detail. I did this for multiple parts of the shirt, on the chest, and even at the end of the sleeves. The actual shirt itself has multiple stitches on it for multiple holes as well. Specifically the low of cross stitchings on this seam here, which I added just by getting some black paint, put on a toothpick, and drawing out the stitch marks. Which is what I did for here as well. I took the same black paint, the same black wash, and coloured in one of the stitch marks there, since it wasn't painted. I then moved on to the sleeve, because it is meant to be blue, as all the dye has just leaked out onto the sleeve. So I basically just took some blue paint, put it on a brush, washed off some excess, and then just dry brushed the whole sleeve except for the red stripes. This dry brushing pattern is also what I use on the edge of the red pattern at the top of the sleeves. I took some more black paint and I added a band, and then I took some white paint and added the outlines on the blue stripe on the glove. On to the other arm. Harley is meant to have this diamond pattern on this arm, but the figure did not have it at all. So I tried my best to add the diamonds on it, and it goes around the arm. Admittedly not my best work, but it does the job well. I also painted the figure's nails red and blue, as this is how Margot Robbie actually has her nails during the film. I then added some dry brushing to the belts, specifically the studs here, as they were just bronze. I then took some dark wash and painted it all around the studs, and I had some black paint in the gaps to bring out some more detail. Then I took some bronze paint and painted the studs for the whole studs as they were painted on the figure. Speaking of studs, this shoulder holster pack was entirely black except for the white handle of the gun. So, given how the studs were molded in, I painted them silver just by taking some silver paint and the end of a toothpick and just dabbing it on the studs to make it look like how it actually looked in the film. And I took some paint. I took a paintbrush and just painted on the ring that's holding all the belts together. On the actual prop of the gun, there's meant to be a black patch on the holster that wasn't painted before, so I painted it black. And then I moved on to the face, which needed the most work done. So I firstly painted the whole face white by dry brushing it lightly, leaving only the rotten tattoo on her face and the heart underneath her eye. So once I did the whole face up, I then added a dark wash in order to fill the role of the eyeshadow around her eyes. Then I painted on her eyebrows to make them more arched and more thinner to fit I then painted on the eyebrows to make them look more arched and more thinner in order to match Margot Robbie. I even added the eyeshadow she has just around her eyes. I then moved on to the lips. I had to repaint them since I painted over the majority of the face except for the eyes and the tattoos. However, you can see there, you can see it's smudging. I did this in order to match how it looked during the final scenes of the film. And I even added the cut going down the top of her forehead. All this using the same red paint. And then I filled in the gaps of the hair with some dry brushing, some of the dark wash in order to make the hair stand out a lot more. And so the figure was pretty much done. But for good measure, I moved on to her bat. Now, has anyone who has seen the figure or owns it will know that this was barely painted. It was just molded, the bat was just molded in brown plastic. All it had was Goodnight painted on it and the white fabric wrapped around the handle. That was it. So I dry brushed it again with the same dark wash in order to bring out the detail of the wrapped fabric. On the prop, it has this diamond pattern on it that's similar to the one on Harley's arm with the black lines at the top. So once again, I just did that with a paintbrush with black, red and blue paint. Finally, the prop bat has names written on it, so it's implying that this is all the people who have been hit with the bat. So I couldn't write all the names individually given how small this thing is, but I did some squiggly lines in order to make it resemble the names, and to my credit, all the names stop by the time it reaches the end. So, at least I'm paying attention to detail, I guess. And it's better than the actual toy.